common topic when it comes to relationships is the term red flags. And when I'm asked what is the biggest red flag a person can have, fear of being alone. In my experience, the biggest red flag is whether or not you can be alone. Because when you can't be alone, when you can't be by yourself, you will compromise everything to please somebody else. And you end up kind of placing yourself in your own trap. Because what happens is you end up in a situation you can't get out of, or you believe you can't get out of, but you're the one that's put yourself there, and you're the only one that can free yourself. What makes it difficult is you end up with this vicious circle where you just go round and round. I don't want to be on my own. If I try harder, I'll make it work. It's not working. I don't want to be on my own. I'll try harder and make it work. And the reason it's not going to work, the reason it's never going to happen is two things. Because you don't want to be on your own, you haven't figured out how to be by yourself in your own space. You become codependent. Because you're codependent, you literally adopt whatever happens to please them. You don't have any personal boundaries. You don't have personal space. You don't even know who you are. You lost that because you kind of almost like as it becomes like a symbiotic relationship, but it's often toxic. And they sometimes, they're literally draining you, but you're the one that's allowing it to happen because you haven't learned to be by yourself, learned to be on your own. And it's not simple, but you have to create an understanding of who you are, what your needs are, and how they can be met. And you can only do that when you're on your own because you learn what's missing. But when you're always seeking company, when you're always seeking a relationship, you become codependent on people. And even good people can make a codependency relationship toxic for no other reason than you're trying to be something for them. And you're doing that from a place of not knowing who you are. So you never say no. Or when you do say no, it's a big mountain out of a molehill, or you start bringing drama into the relationship because you need them to demonstrate that they're going to fix things for you, they're going to support you. So you end up being the one that's actually toxic. And then again, what happens then is if they then put in the boundary and say, this isn't working, I'm going to leave, you've had that very thing giving you life support you off. And the problem again is you then look at that like they were toxic, and they were not toxic. It was you. And it's always six of one, half a dozen of the other. Sometimes people are codependent and they end up attracting toxic people. Sometimes people are codependent and they find a good person, but they haven't resolved all of the insecurities that they have about themselves. So when they create drama, and that they do it from a perspective of, I need you to demonstrate that you're going to take care of me. You're never going to satisfy it because you don't trust them. And the reason you don't trust them deep down is because you haven't developed a skill set to trust yourself. And sometimes trusting yourself is, this doesn't feel good. I'm not sure. Is this a sign that I shouldn't be doing something, or am I just outside my comfort zone? It's not, there's no definitive answers. It's not always easy. But you have to learn to become self dependent.